Hey guys, Let's Play here. So, we'll be talking these relics in the long term, how useful they are for the characters, and how good they will be. I want to mention that I will be talking a bit about the JP version as well, just so it can give you an understanding of how good these relics will be in the long term. If you don't want to be spoiled, then please just click away and don't watch the video. But in that sense, I'm going to give a little countdown, so if you're sure, you're not sure, I'll give you some time. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, right. So if you're still here, then let's talk these relics then. So we'll be talking about the relics and how they combine with the exclusive, and that determines how good these weapons are. So we're going to start off with the Chocoblade. Now, Bartz will get a buff later on in the game, where once you have Double Hand mastered, you get a max Brave buff. Now, that that buff was tandem with another buff that Bartz gets, where Missile, after you use Missile, gives Brave to the party, depending on Bartz's max Brave. Now, you use the two in tandem, and the passive to increase damage to Double Hand, it doesn't really matter as much. It's all about that max Brave buff, and the Bartz's exclusive, it gives Missile a defense down drop. And then when you master it, the defense down drop lasts for 3 turns. Now, unfortunately, in my experience, I don't think the passive matters all that much here, unfortunately. So while this is a good weapon for short term, long term, there are a lot of other characters who DPS really well, and I do HP attack on top of that as well. And because of that, it's not amazing, but it's good. It's good to have. It's good to have, but it's not, I need to have this. It's all about really the buff of having his max Brave and using Missile, because what you're doing with Bartz is that you're cutting down someone's Brave, you're potentially breaking them, and then you're giving Brave to the whole pie, so it generates a lot of Brave, and that makes Bartz a really good support character as well as quite a good Brave DPSer. And in that sense, this is something that you kind of take a leisure with. You don't need to go all out to have it mastered, and if you just have it mastered, then it's good to have, but it's not essential for Bartz. So yeah, I'm not going to do a rating system for that, because I don't think a rating system really applies for this kind of video, because this talks more about the characters in the long term and their ranks as well. So yeah, Edge. Edge gets an exclusive where it changes his second ability. I don't know what they call it in global, because I haven't got it yet. Well, I'm just calling it Smoke Bomb for now. So the evasion lasts, I think it's 2 or 3 more turns, and it gives targeting. So Edge becomes a tank. Funny enough, so he shifts from being a quick DPSer to being more of an invasive tank, and that Smoke Bomb dodges everything, and it's really good. And his tanking ability means that you really can just you don't have to worry about taking Brave damage, which is really good. But the problem is that with this Kikuichimonji, if you're using shock and the turn delay is lowered, that means your turn comes a lot quicker. And because of Edge's buff, where he can avoid attacks, that means that if you use it haphazardly, your turn will come too quick, and then you end up losing your buff, so then you have to reapply it again, and that makes it a bit more tricky to use. So with Edge, you have to be very careful how you use him as a tank. He's like a mini tank, but he's not the best tank in the game. I wouldn't put him in the top 3, to be honest, and this just makes it quite weird, because this one doesn't synergize all that well with his exclusive. It makes him do more damage, and that's about it, but it doesn't really work in tandem with the exclusive ability. So this one is, again, short term and long term, it's nice but not great. I have Edge's exclusive as well. Funny thing, and I don't use Edge at all as a tank. And there are better tanks out there. Warrior of Light for one example. And for that, Edge, he's good, but the exclusive of this relic is not great for the long term. It fizzles out. Judgements. This one actually synergizes quite well with his exclusive. King gets quite a lot better actually. So what happens is in the future is that King will get a buff, and in that buff, after you use reload, Rapid Bullets becomes a Brave HP attack. So instead of doing 2 Brave attacks, you do 1 Brave attack, 1 HP attack. Now, that means that if you have this mastered, this passive works really well with that. And King's exclusive just makes he do a lot more damage as well. So you end up doing quite a lot of damage with King, and he ends up being a really good character. He's not the top tier echelon of brokenness, but he's actually a really good character. And in my opinion, this one actually gets good over time. Like, that is really good over time, and it's something I recommend. Like, it's I only wish I could show you, but I tried to go exclusive for his weapon on the banner it comes in from his King exclusive, and I didn't get it, and I was really sad. But I was aiming for that because I had a friend at the time who had King, and the DPS is really quick and it's really good, and that's why I like it. But yeah, King overall becomes a lot better character over time, and having this passive here only makes it better with him. So that's something to look out for. Well, I just want to say, at the time of doing this video, Yuffie's exclusive hasn't come out in JP, but it is coming out towards the end of the month. I don't know what exactly they're going to do with Yuffie's exclusive, considering that it's a very situational move as second ability. You need to be debuffed in order to really make use of it. And really, only the Malboro is one that provides enough debuffs for the as JP calls it, you can have it. I don't know what it's called in Global because I didn't use Yuffie. But this one is, again, Yuffie is one of the lower tiers of characters. Even after like 75 characters, she's towards the bottom. And there are people who I see, like, you say, oh yeah, Yuffie's one of my mains, I love Yuffie. And good on you, man. Like, don't let tiers dictate who you use and don't use. Enjoy who you want. But from a review point and having used it, Yuffie just fades. She fades in obscurity, and I forget that she's in the game. I really, because no one uses her, and that's sad because I like Yuffie as a character. Like, she's one of my more likable for FF7 characters. I find her personality to be really funny, but yeah, unfortunately, not great. Falchion. Okay, guys. Right. Let's talk brokenness. Let's talk OP. Now, Terra. Unfortunately, Terra doesn't come buffed as using JP. So, right now, Terra is like old buff Terra. And that means she needs to wait a turn before she can use her HP attacks. Now, in JP, she can use Meltdown and Meteor instantly, and that makes her crazy good. She DPS is so quick, it's unreal. Like, her ability to do damage is insane. In multiplayer, she's like the #1 character. She does insane amount of damage. The Falchion, she gets a level break, and the Falchion just makes her even better because what happens is when you use Meltdown for the first time with her level break, you get Brave Regen. Now, Brave Regen is just crazy because you just get some regen and then you just shoot your Brave up with Meltdown, and then when you have the Falchion, you get even more Brave. So you just deal so much damage, and it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Now, I lucked out big time because, like, I went for Terra because I'm a Terra fanboy. Like, I am in the camp of Terra is the main character of FF6 versus Celeste. I have debates with my friends all the time about Terra and Celeste. Now, even though Terra was terrible, I was still... Oh, funny pun there. But I still, like, I need to get Terra next because I love Terra. And I kept pulling for Terra and I could not get her. But Terra is crazy good. She's tied for being the best character in the game of 75 characters. And if that doesn't scream to you how good she is, then I don't know what will. So this one is a really good weapon to have alongside it, because that means you can still DPS really well. You don't have to rely exclusively on Meteor. You can do Meltdowns as well to lose lots of damage. And you can save your Meteors, because sometimes there are times when you don't want to just, like, the enemy's already broken. You got quite high brave already. You don't want to waste all those hits with Meteor to just do nothing. And the Falchion is a good thing for this. And that's why Terra, this Falchion is one of the best relics to go for in the long term, because when you have it mastered, Terra is just really strong. Orichalcum Dirk. Unfortunately, Penelo is another character that fades into obscurity because her buffs, while they are quite good, you kind of don't need them because a lot of characters, their exclusives, lower the turn delay of their moves, and because of that, you don't really need the hate as much. And the problem with Penelo is that because she gives so many hate buffs with her both of her dances, you override certain buffs, and that makes her quite difficult to use. She's only good with characters who don't really buff themselves, so she can do the buffing for them. But she fades out, and she's not really one that people use that often. So unfortunately, Penelo fades out, and that's sad because I like Penelo. I really do like Penelo. She's she's actually one of my more likable characters from Final Fantasy XII. And I hope that when she gets her level break, her buffs become a lot better, because in JP she needs one big time. But yeah, she's not a character really that you will be using that much as the game progresses. That the lowering of the turn delay is huge for a lot of characters and exclusives. And Penelo, unfortunately, in fact, she gets kind of usurped by Ramza, because Ramza is probably like a much better character. Especially Ramza is going to be getting a level break as well. At the time of doing this video, he hasn't, but he'll be the next character to get one later this month. So yeah, poor Penelo. But she'll have her moments soon enough. And here's hoping that she gets her time to shine. But for now, Penelo, unfortunately, you're only a backup dancer to the main one, Ramza. Yang's Dragon Claw. This one's hard because I recently pulled Yang's exclusive, and this one synergizes really well with his Yang's exclusive. So Yang's exclusive gives him a really good attack boost, and it increases the power of kick like a tiny bit as well, and increases the duration of which Yang's chakra boost lasts for as well. Now that synergizes like perfectly with his Dragon Claw, and Yang actually shoots up to being a really good character. Like, in my opinion, he's terrible now. Like, I don't like using Yang, but with his exclusive and his first weapon mastered, which I'm on the way to doing with his first weapon because I haven't done it yet. I still need to pull like 2 more copies to do that, but I will do it one day. But Yang's Dragon Claw increases the power kick, and you end up doing like insane damage, and you do really good splash damage as well. Unfortunately, there's a man called Squall Leonhardt who does the splash damage a lot better than Yang does, and gets a lot more brave than Yang could ever wish for. So unfortunately, Yang is usurped by Squall, so he's not top tier like Squall is, but if Squall wasn't there, Yang would be up there. He'll be up there because of how good his exclusive does and synergizes with his first weapon. Right? So overall, it's like Yang doesn't get his exclusive though probably for global players. You guys won't get it for a year, and I wouldn't recommend just like like building and waiting for anticipation, because there's too much content that you'll miss by just waiting for that. But to let you guys know that in the future, Yang will be really good. He will be really good. Like, I check the rankings every Monday in JP to see moves change and how good characters are, and Yang is shot up there. He's shot up to being one of the best. So yeah, good on Yang. His Dragon Claw is really good for his exclusive. It makes him that much stronger. Like, with his exclusive, he's still really good, but with the Dragon Claw, he's even better. Ancient Sword. Onion Knight. Onion Knight, like I said, short term, I'm not a fan, but long term, Onion Knight gets a level break, and as part of the level break, when you get to Stage 3 and you use Blizzard, you do a HP attack afterwards. So it turns your Blizzard into a Brave the HP attack at Stage 3. That makes this like a really good weapon as well. So unlike other characters, Onion Knight's relics synergize a lot better with his level breaks. So this makes your Brave the HP attack of Blizzard combo really good. Like, really, really good. You do tons and tons of damage. Like I'm not even joking, guys. Like, I've seen Onion Knight players do like 2k per hit. with it, 2k per hit. Just get that in your head. 2,000 damage at least per hit with Blizzard combo, and then a HP attack afterwards. Like, Onion Knight is a really good character. Like, once you get Ancient Sword and his exclusive mastered, and you level break him to max. Like, he becomes one of the really good characters in the game, and I only wish I could get his stuff. Unfortunately, I can never seem to get exclusive no matter how hard I chase for it. So, on that, man. But Onion Knight is a solid, he's a really good character. He's solid as well, but he's a really good character. Both his Sage and Ninja buffs are really good for anywhere, really. Like, I don't say they mean resist ice, but they resist ice then use Ninja, and his Ninja can also be a brave HP attack as well. So yeah, so in the future, Onion Knight becomes really, really good. So he's one character that would be good to just, don't like go all out waiting for him. Just monitor. Never be too disappointed if he pulls stuff, because he ends up being a really good character. Shadow. So I pulled his exclusive as well, and his Fuma Shuriken doesn't synergize that well with his exclusive, and unfortunately that makes this weapon, it's a nice thing to have but not essential. Shadow's exclusive makes his Shuriken throw, or I don't know what it's called, but makes it really good. And what happens is your brave attacks, they ignore defense. So the more powerful Shadow is, a lot more damage you do. And because of that, it's much easier to accumulate high amounts of brave. So then your Shadow stealth doesn't need to have the 1.4 like it does in doesn't need to have the 1.4 for the exclusive for it to be good. So in that sense, this is just it's nice, but ideally it's not great, and long term it's not something I think you really need. It's nice to have, but it's not something like is essential. And that's kind of the things I think about how well a first weapon synergizes with the exclusive. And for Shadow's one, not great. Not great. But that's just my opinion. I've been playing around with Shadow since I got exclusive, and I find that DPS is brave high enough that I don't need the 1.4. But people may argue, people may feel differently, but that's just my opinion based on experience. But yeah, this one doesn't really synergize that well, and it kind of fades. You don't really need it. Shadow is actually getting a bit more use now. He didn't have the same kind of increase as Yang did, but he still got quite up a bit. So he's overall is a good character, but he's not great or OP. Firion's Wing Sword. Now, Firion was one of the very first characters to get level break, and this one synergizes quite well with Firion's mechanic and his second ability. So overall, this is it's decent. It's not great how much HP you recover, but once you get Firion's level break, you recover much more HP as well. And if you synergize it with the Wing Sword as well, that means that you get so much HP. And when Blood Weapon gets its extended version, which happens when you level break characters, you gain Brave equal to the HP you cover as well. So that means that you can use this to HP attack with Firion and not really fear the break as much as you would other characters. So you can be a bit more reckless. Also, it heals Firion quite well. Firion's Rope Knife, I don't know what they call it here in Global, but Firion's Rope Knife is like another supporting move where if you use it at full HP, it gives Brave to the whole party as well, and that is good. So that's only mean that I think it's up until 80%. I think I'm not too sure, because I'm very safe when I play with Firion. I make sure never to get HP attacked or to reduce HP damage. But overall, Firion evolves into being a really good Brave generating character. His exclusive gives him a massive max Brave boost, so you end up becoming 13,000 Brave, and it's just crazy. It's so good. I need to master this to make my Firion better in JP. I'm not quite there yet. Like with Yang, I need to pull this 2 more times, but yeah, this is It's a decent weapon. It's an icing on the cake, as it were, and it makes Firion all that much better. It synergizes really well with Firion and his mechanic, and it's something really that if you want to invest in Firion, this is good to have. Firion is a good character. He's a really good character in JP now, because of the buffs he will get later on, and his exclusive just takes Firion to a whole other level. That's why I like using Firion. I think Firion's a good character. So overall, this is a good weapon and synergizes really well. I'll repeat it myself again, but yeah, synergizes really well with Firion and his mechanic. And if you can, don't go all out for it, but like again, be happy when you do get it, and be happy to limit break it when you can, because it'll only make your Firion really good. The Galbadian machine gun! This one doesn't really synergize well with his second ability towards exclusive, but it's good. It's good to have because it increases the duration of the defense down, and Laguna is actually quite a good character in JP now. His exclusive turns his second ability shotgun into a HP attack on the target that you use it on. So it makes his AoEs like a lot better in that sense, because when you're targeting one person and then you go bam with a HP attack on that one person, because you've done damage to everyone, his brave shoots up being really high, and you do lots of damage to one target, and you debuff the whole party as well. Overall, Laguna is a solid character, but unfortunately, his machine gun doesn't really synergize all that well with his exclusive. But it's nice to have. It's nice to have. But you can use Laguna pretty effectively without this. So overall, not a great weapon. Not a great weapon at all. Unfortunately, long term, you don't really need it all that much. It's good. So it's good, but it's not great. Unfortunately, but because of how good Laguna's exclusive is, you don't really need to rely on having the passive here. Cecil. Now, I have been swayed. Like, guys, if you're interested in JP content, I'll link the channel below. There's a guy called Messed Up. I communicate with him on Reddit every now and then. He's a really nice person, really nice. But he does lots of videos on JP and like getting like crazy high scores or clearing up really difficult content. And I enjoy watching his stuff. So if you're interested in JP stuff, I'll have his channel linked in the description below. Give him a watch, subscribe to his stuff because he's good. It's really good. But he has swayed me on Cecil, because before that, I thought Cecil was a pretty high risk, high reward, but not great character. But Cecil, from what I've had the pleasure of using, like friends who have Cecil maxed out, Cecil is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I would go as far to say, even though he's rated quite high in JP, he is underrated. Like, not enough people on my friends list or people overall use him. And Cecil's exclusive and level break changes his second ability into a brave to HP attack, which, when you wrap your head around it, like Cecil will get level break, which means that he will be a lot stronger than most characters. His exclusive increases the power of his second ability, Valiant Blow. It gives him a attack up buff, and it becomes a brave to HP attack that launches guaranteed. You know what that means, guys? That means you will clear content quickly and easily. It's so good. Now, unfortunately, the Deathbringer isn't. It synergizes okay, but not amazingly well, because darkness is good for the AoE breaks, but when you're facing a single foe, that max brave up buff, even though it's only a little bit, only adds a little bit more damage you can do with Cecil. So overall, Cecil becomes like a really, really, really good character. And I just want to give a shout out and thanks to Merced Out for showing me that, because I wouldn't have seen that without that kind of without seeing it being applied in the video. And because of that, I say great, thank you very much, Merced Out. I really appreciate you changing my mind on the character that was too high risk to use. But yeah, this one, the max brave up, even though it's short, you can like use it to like use darkness, then Valiant Blow, darkness, then Valiant Blow. You maintain your buffs, and you do lots of damage, and you do lots of damage HP wise, and you launch and make yourself make your party members all that much better. It's much easier to clear content with that. Like you speed through it with that. So Cecil is one character that you want to kind of build in and invest in for the future, because it will yield great results for you. Warrior of Light. If you guys have seen my CP video guide, I do show my Warrior of Light maxed out to the brim. Warrior of Light is one of my favorite characters in this game. He's one of my favorite characters in the city overall, and he's to me he's joint being one of the best tanks in the game. I think he's tied with Snow right now, because Snow has got his level break, and Snow is really good now. Like he was okay, but he's really good. But Warrior of Light, what I like about Warrior of Light is that that Shine Shield can make your other characters more protected. That means that you can let loose. They can be more offensive without having to worry about getting bravely broken or taking onto brave damage. You can transfer over like shields over to your allies, and that's what I like about Warrior of Light. And like the further the stronger your characters are on Stronger Light is, the better the Divine Protection buff is. Because look, it's just 50% of the initial Brave to current Brave. That's it. It's not like a fixed amount. So the stronger the character is, the higher the initial Brave, the more Brave they get. So one of the things I do Warrior Light is that I just use the Brave Shield to give people more Brave when they need it, and give them protection as well. One of the things is that that Brave Shield is kind of worrisome to use with characters who buff themselves up, like Terra. Terra gives herself crazy amounts of buffs, especially when she level breaks as well. But the synergizes quite well, it used to synergize quite well with exclusive up until his level break, because with his level break it turns for Brooklyn to a Brave the HP attack. But Warrior Light also gets a buff where you get a shield, or you get a Shine Shield automatically after using for Buckler. So you can Brave the HP attack like crazy. Like, and the level break version of Throw Buckler does insane damage. Like I'm talking like 7k. Like, and that's because I got my maxed out. But it does like a lot of damage, and it draws targets to Warrior of Light. That means that your two other characters can pretty much go willy-nilly, and if the boss uses an AoE, you can protect them with Shine Shield, and that's kind of what I like about it. So while this doesn't synergize well with its exclusive, it synergizes well with Warrior of Light as a support tank. Like, to me, I like that about Warrior of Light. He's a really good support tank, and he's one of my most used characters in JP. Like, when I'm building parties for difficult content, I just look, I think Warrior of Light is the one I want in my party, and then I just build other characters as well. But overall, Warrior of Light becomes a really good support tank, and this is another weapon that you guys, I think you should invest in. Like, I see people who have already got this maxed out, and good on you guys. Like, Warrior of Light exclusive increases for a buckler, and it also means that he doesn't. It also gives him back a shield against debuffs as well, but that's for Warrior of Light only. And what you can do is that you can override the Shine Shield. The Shine Shield from this one is better than the one you get from the Throw Buckler buff, so that means that you make it really strong. Like, I see, like, my Shine Shield gets to figures of around 10,000, so that means that it's very hard for my Shine Shield to get broken. Like, it only has to expire, but if you keep refreshing it, you really take little amounts of brave damage, and that's what I like about it. And overall, this is a good weapon. Good weapon to have long term. It lasts. It really does last, and it just makes Warrior of Light that much better. Vivi's Oak Staff. Vivi is set to get a level break coming up. So I can't really determine how good or bad this will be in the long term, but I'll just say what I know now. And what I know now is that Vivi's exclusive increases the power of focus and makes his fire like really strong, And then if you get the boost from this as well, it's the two synergize so well that Vivi does insane amount of damage. Like I see Vivi hit the cap, like just do all nines with it. He's just that good. Unfortunately, because he doesn't have a brave HP attack as of this video, you are quite slow to deal the HP attack, and with focus you kind of have a short term anyway, so that's the only thing I would hold back against Vivi. But he's a good character. He's a good character, and I'm praying, devs, I'm praying that you make Vivi's like level break, like make him up to top tier, because FF9 is my favorite series, as most people know by now. So I love FF9, like it's my favorite, and I just want FF9 characters to be the best. And yeah, overall this synergizes really well with his exclusive. Right now it's good but not fantastic, but but later on in the line it makes Vivi into a fire god. Like a fire god, he does so much damage, it's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous how much damage he does do later on. And it's one of those things, guys. It's one of those things where it will surprise you how good it is. So, like for me, like unfortunately I don't my global account now, but I have I have this at 2. I'm only needing one more level break to max it out. Funny enough, on my global account, like I don't even have it maxed out on my JP account. But I really push to have this weapon as well, just for the FF9 fanboy in me. But yeah, this one becomes like a really good weapon for Vivi later on, because the passive makes Vivi really good with his focus buff from his exclusive. I probably will talk again about the level break once Vivi's level break does come out and how much it changes. But yeah, it's a good weapon. Vivi is a good character. He's not top tier, unfortunately, but he's still a good character. So overall, synergizing wise with Vivi and his exclusive, this goes hand in hand and works really well with him. Rem survival edges. Unfortunately, not much changes long term. Like Aerith will come into the game, and Aerith is a really good AoE healer. Although Rem's level break makes her like the best AoE healer for now. But the problem with Opera Omni is you don't want to take HP damage. Like you really want to avoid doing that, and if you can, it's okay, but it's not the worst thing in the world if you do take HP damage, as long as you just don't die, and that's the only problem. And that's the problem I have with survival edges, is that the game shifts into beating bosses as quick as you can, and when you're doing that, you're okay to take some HP damage. In multiplayer, especially, that kind of it harms Rem's survival edges, because Sylph, most people, Sylph is like the most used summon in the game in JP, like right now, and everyone has max Sylph, and what happens with max Sylph is everyone gets HP restored, and because of that, this really kind of makes this not all that great, unfortunately. But Rem doesn't synergize well with her turn convert or her exclusive as well, because her exclusive makes turn convert a really good supporting move. But yeah, there's no real synergy between the two, and unfortunately this one, it's okay, but it's not really great. It's okay, but it's not really great. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the problem with this. But yeah, a lot of people I've seen who get this reroll straight away. I kind of blame them, but yeah, it doesn't really get all that great, unfortunately. Okay, so Sazh is set to get an exclusive in JP soon enough, and sorry, my voice is like starting to go now. So I don't know what Sazh's exclusive will do eventually, but this weapon and Sazh is like one of the least used characters in the game, because he's not that good, unfortunately. And I like Sazh. I really like Sazh. Like my heart goes out to him in all of the games, because I feel bad for him. Like some of the stuff that he goes through in this games. But that's for another video for another day, I guess. But yeah, Sazh We don't know what his exclusive will do, but his second ability is a buff. I'm guessing that his exclusive will turn his buff AoE and make it a lot better. But unfortunately, Sazh's aim, it's not really all that good, unfortunately, because it's situational. And it's mostly used against the bats at the beginning of the game, but there aren't really any enemies or bosses where this really you think, oh yeah, this is good, or I'll add this. No, it just is not all that useful, unfortunately. So sadly, sorry, Sazh, but yeah, guys, Sazh doesn't get any really better from now until a year on in JP. He's about as good as he is. And yeah, it brings great sadness to say that as well. It brings great sadness. Tiger Fang. Now Tifa's still quite decent because her battle cry doubles her brave, and this one it sort of synergizes well with it, I guess, sort of with her exclusive, because it makes Beat Rush more powerful. And Tifa, unfortunately, Tifa didn't get buffed to how she was in JP, where she gets an exclusive buff in when she uses Battle Cry, which gives her the ability to lower the action delay of her moves and attack up buff, and that makes Beat Rush a lot better. And when you're hitting weakness of skeletons, it makes it even better as well. And the problem is, like, this will synergize with that, but Tifa, if you have exclusive, she's pretty much good enough to run without it, because it increases her exclusive, increases her max brave, and then gives her brave after that. Because of that, it's very easy to get skyrocketing high brave values with Tifa, and you don't really need to have the beat rush all that much. But it's a nice thing to have. Like, it's a nice thing to have, which is like, I guess is like a lot of passives from the first weapons are just icing on the cakes. They don't really really push a character that much better. There are a few exemptions, but overall, the rule of thumb, and especially with Tifa, it's a nice thing to have, but it's not game changing. Like, I have both of Tifa's weapons, and I like using Tifa. I really do like using Tifa. Like, I used her a lot more since I got exclusive, because before that, I never touched her. Like, I never touched her even though I had the Tiger Fang. But yeah, her exclusive was just like the Tiger Fang color blue as well. I'm quite sad about that. It's like a premium heart or something, but guess that's for another day. But yeah, it's nice. Tifa comes a really good character who is easy to hit, who can shoot her brave up to crazy values without much work. But yeah, nice thing to have, not essential. ORGANYX. Oh, yep. I'm not calling it ORGANYX, Dev. I refuse to call it ORGANYX. Patch in ORGANYX, please. But yeah, ORGANYX. This one, the paralyzing and improving the power of cross slash, very, very good. Like, you end up doing insane amounts of damage with that, and the paralyzing rate is always useful, even a year on now. Although I feel that Cloud has kind of been usurped by Cecil for the launching, stuff like that. ORGANYX is still a really good character, good relic. The passive is still really, really good. So if you can, like, ORGANYX is one of the passives that you should be trying to get ASAP. And then moving on to his Buster Sword, or his NT Buster Sword anyway. His NT Buster Sword, I don't have my JP account, and I have used some Cloud friends on my JP account, but I don't really see it being all that game changing. It's a nice boost, but Cloud is mostly for support. You're using Cloud more for the support effects than he is for his damage. Using Finishing Touch to launch enemies into the air and make sure that you're getting someone bar to go as quickly as possible, to then someone beat the boss as quickly as possible. And you're using Cross Slash mostly for the paralysis. So in that sense, that damage boosts are great, but they're not essential. And that's why I'm not I'm not overly keen on Cloud's Bustle NT like some people are. I think it's nice, but it's not great. But the passive here from Blade of Ruin, which is really damn cool, by the way. That's a really cool name for the passive. Definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. Yeah. Cloud will also get another weapon coming up in Global as well, where if you get crit, it dispels a buff. It's situational, but there are some bosses where it's really good for. And the boss that you for the banner that this Cloud's second weapon comes on, buffs himself up and can be really scary with his buffs as well. So that's one thing to watch out for. But if you have all of the passes from Cloud, because Cloud has lots of weapons, like lots of weapons. Like, Cloud is still like a top tier character. Unfortunately, he's been pushed down to be just below top tier, below OP, but he's still really good. So, guys, yeah, yes. You really want to have ORGANYX mastered, because Cloud is still one of the best characters now in JP. So yeah. Invest in Cloud. Hope. Now, Hope is interesting. Very interesting, because Hope will get another weapon where the more buffs he has, the stronger he gets. And with Skycutte, you get 2 buffs. And then if you get exclusive, that's another 2 buffs. So that's 4 buffs off the bat, and it turns Hope into quite a really good character. I mean, unfortunately, Hope isn't top tier or top tier or OP, but he's still a good character. But unfortunately, he like Penelo, he fades into obscurity as well. Like, because of how the meta changes, and it's all about killing the boss ASAP. He doesn't really get used all that much. But for me, I like using Hope. So when I pull Hope's exclusive, I'm using Hope's a lot. And if you have this passive mastered and you move on to Hope's exclusive, and you will have Hope being able to have a buff that increases your defense against magical attacks, against physical attacks, attack up buff, and a speed up buff. So if you think about all those buffs there, and overall it's in theory it sounds amazing, but that's the problem. One of the problem is overriding buffs and characters who buff themselves up as well. You don't want to interfere. Unfortunately, you can only have like 5 buffs at one given time. There's 5 buffs and debuffs. So one of the best ways to avoid debuffs is to just buff your characters up. And Hope is one character that you can use to kind of like defeat my Borgia while having to rely on Yuna. So that's one good thing about it. But yeah, Hope kind of fades. He's a good character, but he's not top tier or OP, unfortunately. He fades quite a bit. And here's hoping that he gets a level break that makes him a lot better. Oh wait, he does. I think he's next in line in JP to get a level break. So we'll see how that works out. Isola's Thyrus. Isola is one of the very first characters to get the level break. And what her level break does is that when she uses stone, she gets brave regen. Now the problem is that Isola's level break kind of makes this not all that great. The defense down, it's good, but it only lasts for 1 turn, so that's a shame. And with Isola, you want to be using Medicara to like be giving the party a crazy amount of brave. But unfortunately, Isola has a problem, and that is Yuna. Yuna's exclusive turns her cheer AoE as well, and gives the party brave regen. It gives the party, I think, a unique brave regen as well, which means that it can stack another brave regen, which makes Isola not that great. But up until then, up until Yuna break, Isola is still a very good character. And even though Yuna is still like regarded as one of the very best characters in JP, Isola is still high up. She's still a top tier character, and I haven't got her second ability yet from her level break. But what her exclusive does is her exclusive gives her a max brave up buff, so that only makes Midokara even better because it increases the brave you get from Midokara and gives her max brave up. So in that sense, you can give the party lots of brave. Now, in that sense, Isla is still a very good support character. She's usurped by Yuna, unfortunately, but she's still good in her own regard. Stone is still good for the delay, but because you can kill bosses quite quickly now in JP, with like Terra or Vaan or Squall, that delay, you don't really need it all that much, but I hear they're changing how multiplayer will be working, so hopefully that gives Isla some time to shine. But yeah, she's still like a really good character, but she's not OP, like Yuna is, unfortunately. But she's still good. So if you get her, she's one character that you kind of want to invest in too. But but Yuna will be probably better as well. Yuna also heals light HP as well with her maxed out stuff. So, but we'll get on to Yuna. Okay. The Zwill Crossblade. Now, Zidane recently got a level break in JP, and Zidane is one of my more used characters now because it's quite good. Zidane will get a weapon where I believe if he flicks a debuff, and his stats go up like his max brave, and that will synergize really well with both of his relics. And overall, Zidane becomes quite a powerhouse. Really, like. When you read his effects, you're thinking, that's okay, but it's not great. But then when you use it, you're like, whoa, this is really good. And I've recently just pulled this on my global account, which is like, yes! A massive yes. But yeah, it makes Terra Circle 5 really good. And when you use it with Zidane's level break, Zidane increases damage to Circle 5, which does crazy amounts of damage later on. Like, you're looking at 2,000 per hit. That kind of crazy amounts of damage, and it gives him a max brave boost. So that level break improvement of Circle 5 synergizes really well with free energy. Now the speed down rate, it really does help. Speed down is a really good debuff, probably one of my more favorite debuffs in the game, because I like when the enemy is slower because they get more turns, and getting more turns is always good. And Zidane also gives off a speed up rate as well, and it increases the duration of both the debuff for the enemy and the buff for Zidane. That means that you can really get your free energies in and just deal lots of brave damage as well. And if you're lucky, combining this with Stellar Stone, that means you can break the enemy. And if you have Cloud as well, like one of my things I used to do early on was I used to have Zidane use the speed down, instead to delay and Cloud to paralyze, and bosses just wouldn't touch me. And overall, this makes this is a good thing to have for Zidane. It's an icing on the cake, Zidane. I haven't got it mastered on my JP account yet, but I've got Zidane's exclusive mastered. And Zidane's exclusive works like Shadow's first weapon, where it increases the multiplier for free energy. Because of how high brave rallies tend to get, that is better for Zidane than it is for Shadow, because you end up getting crazy high amounts of brave and use free energy, and it makes Zidane a really good character. And if you have two female users in your party with Zidane as well, Zidane ends up being really good, really good. So I go there. Zidane becomes a really top tier character. So this is a good thing to have, like even short term and long term. It's really good, and overall, Zidane's a good character, and it's fantastic. Vaan. People hated you in Final Fantasy 12. A lot of people did. I liked you, Vaan, because I thought you were cool. And it feels like Square are on like a quest of redemption. No, we have to make Vaan really good in every other game. Like, I thought Vaan was phenomenal in Tactics 2. Like, I loved Vaan and Penelo in Tactics 2. I thought the two of them were so cool. And in the Revenant Wings, Vaan's quite good as well. I still have yet to play the re-release of Final Fantasy 12. I will do that sometime. But yeah, Vaan is one of the best characters in the game. He's tied with Terra and Squall for being the best character in the game. He does so much HP damage, it's ridiculous. Vaan gets a level break really early on. And what his level break does for his abilities is that you only need one turn to start using the extensions, and it gives him one extra usage as well. Like, I was theorizing before Vaan got his level break what Vaan needed. And I was like, Vaan just needs to have like one more usage and probably to make his moves more powerful. And that's what they did. But the time taken to master the ability to use the extension being cut down to only one use is ridiculous. It's so good, and because of that, Vaan DPS is crazy well. Like, his H2 damage is insane, and this Platinum Sword, the boost makes him even better. Like it's good, but for this one, I think you really use the boost, because it just makes Vaan so much stronger, and it's just fantastic. Vaan's exclusive makes White Well crazy strong, like crazy strong. Sorry, I guess my voice is going, but yeah, it makes it very strong. And I don't know if it says here in Rebel, but it should increase the power of Whiteout as well. And because of that, with Whiteout and White Well and a Red Spiral, it just overall, Vaan is one of the best DPS characters in the game. He is really strong. So guys, yes, this one is something to have. Build for Vaan, and when his level break comes in and when his exclusive goes in, go for Vaan again. You will not regret it. Vaan is fantastic. He's just, I can't praise Vaan high enough. Like, I love using Vaan. You guys don't know, but for new people who subscribe to my channel, when Vaan's exclusive came out, and this was before the level break stuff, I pulled on Vaan's banner 4 times. 4 times. I pulled my rule of thumb in JP is I pull a banner once and use a ticket, but for Vaan's exclusive banner, I pulled it 4 times, and that is how crazy, and that's how crazy good he is. And I'm always an advocate for 1 at max 2 pulls of the banner, but I went 4 times for that. So that can only say how good I think Vaan is and how good he will be for you. So yes, guys, yes. Make sure to go for this one. Make sure to have this, and make sure to have his exclusive as well. Ida's, as I can't pronounce this for the life of me, Spherai. Ida will be getting her level break in JP soon enough. I think sometime this month actually. So it's hard to make an accurate review of this, but so far I have Ida. I have this mastered and her exclusive as well, and I like using Ida. I love Snap Punch, and I'm hoping that the buff that she gets from her level break makes Snap Punch a even more powerful move. One of the things I like about Ida's ability setup is that it really is designed to just spam abilities as quick as you can. I'm hoping that Ida's level buffs push up to top tier, because I love Ida. I absolutely love Ida. Of all the Final Fantasy XIV characters introduced so far in both Record Keeper and this game, like, Ida is probably my favorite. I probably put Isol second, and something like Ida's personality, like in this game, and from what I've read, I kind of have been spoiled about how Ida is in Final Fantasy XIV, so I'm not going to spoil it for you guys either. But I still really like Ida, and this is probably biased speaking here, but I do think that Ida is a quite good character. Unfortunately, she's not top tier or OP, but she's good. Snap Punch, when you have like a really powerful weapon or her exclusive, does lots of damage, and it does so many brave hits. It does so many. I think it's probably one of the higher abilities in terms of doing brave HP attacks. So it's quite easy to do to break and do lots of damage with it. Unfortunately, because Vaan, Squall, and Terra is still the spotlight, it's hard for characters like Ida to shine. But I still think she's a solid character overall, and she's reliable. And if it's not the end of the world if you get her stuff, she will do really good well for you. And her exclusive doesn't synergize that well with her exclusive, because her exclusive, well, actually no, I take that back. it kind of synergizes as well. Her exclusive increases the chance of doing poison, increases the poison damage that the enemy takes, and extends the duration to 6 turns. So that means that when an enemy is poisoned, their brave is low, which makes it easier for Snap Punch to break an enemy as well. That's a good thing as well. But overall, it is a good character. She's a solid character, and her weapons kind of synergize well with each other. They kind of do, but yeah. And finally, oh my god, this video's been going for like almost an hour. Oh my gosh, I can't even sit here for like an hour to talk about this. But that's just my passion for this game. Okay, so as I've mentioned every now and then, Yuna is one of the best characters in the game, and Astral Rod is a really good thing because it removes debuffs from the party. And I haven't used Yuna yet to know, but in JP, global players can correct me if not, because I haven't unlocked it yet, unfortunately. Wait, yeah. In JP, the party gets brave when you use Asuna, even if you don't have the exclusive, the whole party gets brave, and that's pretty good. That ends up being really good. And her Luna's exclusive, like I said, it turns Cheer into AoE, and it gives everyone a unique buff, brave regen, and that's just overall really good. It means that it's easy for people's brave to skyrocket, especially when you have a summon up as well, and that brave regen is so good. Like, I was playing with Yuna last night on my JP account, and I was just like, whoa, Yuna, why are you so good? Like, I was using Hope as well, funny enough. The buffs weren't overriding that much, and it was working perfect tandem. I was doing some practice so I can get a review out for the vanilla event, which should be coming after school. But overall, Yuna is one of the best characters to get later on, guys. Invest in her now. Get Astral Rod. It comes up quite a bit. From what I can see in JP. So Astral Rod is one of the kind of weapon you want to have the passive mastered for. So when you move on to her exclusive, you can kill AoE debuffs, and you can just sweep through and increase like the party brave to insane amounts. And what I like about it is that you can just keep increasing the party brave. Yuna is so good at increasing party brave, and she unfortunately ended Isola's career in that. But yeah, Yuna is fantastic. Her weapon synergizes quite well with her exclusive, in the sense that you can still buff the party brave without having to use the exclusive all the time, which means that fortunately Cheer doesn't have that many uses, so you have to be economical when you're using it, and this means that you can be quite good still. So yeah, overall, fantastic, a top tier character. So if you do get it, be happy. It's all good, and yeah, in my opinion, fantastic character overall. Fantastic character overall. Like I recently pulled her exclusive, and I've been using her, and I think, yep, people are right. She is fantastic. I'm streaming through content a lot easier with her now. So yeah, guys, overall, Yuna is fantastic. And that is it, guys. That is the long-term review of all the relics for the characters. I hope this guy has been quite useful to you. I hope it's giving you some insight to how characters will be post Ramza and exclusives, and how good they are and how viable they are. And yeah, I will be doing another video. In that video, if you guys have made it to the end of this one, in that video I will be talking about and showing you how these exclusives and how characters are in JP a year from then. So that'll probably give you more insight. It'll be able to display a lot better, because things are always sounding different when they're voiced as opposed to when you're actually seeing them. But yeah. Alright guys, this is my Let's Play. My voice is going. I hope this video has been very good and useful to you. If you haven't subscribed, I do lots of operator content. I have played JP pretty much since day one, so I've got a lot of knowledge on the game and a lot more practical experience, and I feel it helps me to help you as well. So anyway, Let's Play. Once again, subscribe, like the video, and share if you can. Get the word up, get people talking, because that's what's really good. Anyway, bye-bye.